Hello and welcome to a video that I've been looking forward to making for a while now. As you can see, I have got a delivery, and that is my Hogwarts Chamber of Secrets set. Now, I'm recording this on the 4th of June. Obviously, the sets came out on the 1st, and it's been an agonising wait. This has come direct from Lego, ordered it back in April. It's been a bit of an agonising wait for this to come. I'm not blaming Lego for that or anything. Obviously, it would have been nice if it had come on the 1st or 2nd, but the important thing is it's here now and I get to open it. So I thought, I've not done an opening on camera before, so I will try my best to do it. So it may require some cutting. Haha, pun intended. There we go. Now, it's just a lift-off one. That's good. Question is, can I do it one-handed? And is there going to be anything inside? Oh, there we go. And there we are. Opened up on the back of the box. There is the Chamber of Secrets. Fantastic. I have seen this on store shelves, so I knew what size box I was expecting, but there it is. So I will get on and build it, and then I will take you through it. See you in a moment. And there we are, done in a moment for you. For me, it was a few hours. I was building at quite a leisurely pace, watched a couple of films while I did it, and took some breaks for lunch. But it was a fun building experience, I have to say. This really is a sort of complete playset. You get a decent amount for your money. It retails here in the UK for £130, you know, give or take a penny. I used a gift card that I was given to knock £30 off that, so I ended up paying £100 for it. Now, if I'd paid full price, I would have felt like it was a bit of a stretch. As it was paying £100, I was perfectly happy with that. I felt like that's a good value for the volume of stuff and the number of minifigures that you get, but I think 130 is a little bit of a stretch. Obviously, prices vary depending on where you are in the world. Okay, so there is a lot to get through here. We will start with the minifigures and we will get through them as quickly as possible. So if I don't go into as much detail on them or anything else, then I do apologise, but I'm just going to try and cover everything without rambling on like I'm doing at the moment. So in no particular order, we have got a brand new Dumbledore on the left and a Lockhart on the right. And now Dumbledore is using brand new prints on a brand new colour. Not seen Dumbledore in that colour before. It's actually very similar to how he looked in the very early Harry Potter sets. They're now going for the white beard and hair, which look really great for Richard Harris's portrayal in the early films. No printing on the back of the skirt piece, but that's all right. Face print is the same as has been used previously. Lockhart on the right is wonderful to get. He is actually the first new Lockhart that I've got. I have an original one from the original Chamber of Secrets set, who is dressed very similarly to this. In fact, here he is to compare. It comes in that wonderful old sand red colour, which doesn't really exist anymore. The new colour, I think that's medium nougat. However you want to say that, for the new Lockhart, but he looks great. It's the same facial expressions as came in Diagon Alley, and this outfit is absolutely appropriate for his trip into the Chamber of Secrets. Would have been nice, as with the older one, for him to come with a cloak. Although it is quite funny to see just how similar these two are, even after 20 years, or nearly 20 years. Next up, we've got one character making their first appearance and another making only their second. On the left, we have got Aurora Sinistra, or Sinistra, not sure how you pronounce that. She is the astronomy teacher. Doesn't really feature much in the books or the films. She's a sort of blink and you'll miss it cameo in the films, but it's really nice to get a minifigure of her nonetheless. There is an astronomy tower part to this set, but also there's the set that came out previously for the astronomy tower, so that's lovely to get her. And then on the right, we have got Nearly Headless Nick. He, as far as I can see, is identical to the one that came out in the Great Hall set, but this time he's actually made of glow-in-the-dark pieces rather than a variety of greys. Everything except his hands glows in the dark, and I don't know if we can see it. Yeah, you can just see the glow starting there. It's a bit too bright in here, really, to show that. Just going back, Professor Sinistra uses the new hair hat combo that was originally done for Professor McGonagall, but in new colours, and does come with an alternate face there with glasses on the back. Here we've got two Gryffindor students, obviously Harry on the left with his wand and the brand new, or new for this year, Sword of Gryffindor, or was it last year? Whenever the second series of CMFs came out. So that's the sword from that set, which is looking great. It's great to get that in another way. Just uses the standard Harry expression we've been getting for a while now. And then on the right is a new character. This is Colin Creevey. I'm not sure whether his face print has been used before, but it's certainly new to me. He's that on one side, and then presumably just seen the Basilisk, or possibly just been shunned by Harry on the other side. Anyway, he looks great. Another great use of that Han Solo hair, the newer one, which was previously used on the collectible Ron, which also looks great there, in a new colour. And he also has his brick-built camera. Well, I say brick-built, it's the standard camera element with a few things added onto it, and that looks really great, perfect for harassing Harry like any good paparazzi. Next up, we've got Ginny on the right and slightly inexplicable Luna on the left. Now, the trouble with this is that although technically Luna was at Hogwarts during this time, that's absolutely correct, she's not mentioned in the books until the fifth book, Order of the Phoenix. So it's a bit odd that they included her here rather than, say, a Slytherin student. But you know what, it's nice nonetheless. You get that hairpiece, which I don't think you can get anywhere else, which weirdly does have that gap for the bag, which she originally came with in the CMF Series 1, but it looks nice nonetheless. Ginny on the right uses the same hair that they've been using for Ginny all the way back since the 2010 wave. She's got Tom Riddle's diary in her left hand. That is a sticker on the front, and there's just a plain tile inside. I won't turn either of their faces round, and that's for the disappointing reason that they use the same head. Now, I don't understand this. So Ginny has previously used, I believe, this headpiece in the Diagon Alley set, and actually I think Susan Bones has used the headpiece previously as well. So it's a fairly generic headpiece, but never before have there been two in the same set. Obviously they do have alternate expressions, but yeah, it's a bit of a on Lego's side there. It's a shame because they've actually gone all out in a number of ways otherwise. So it's a strange little, maybe cost-saving measure, I'm not sure. Something just slipped past someone. But nonetheless, they look okay, especially if you don't put them next to each other. Finally, for the students, we have just got who I believe is meant to be Justin Finch-Fletchley. I'd have to check the box, but I'm pretty sure that's right, in his Hufflepuff robes. He again uses a fairly generic face print. That is what it looks like on the back, so smiling face, and a generic but nice hairpiece. I think if they hadn't named him, it wouldn't be immediately obvious, but then, you know, he's not got that many defining features, so I think that's only fair. He's perfect for this because there is the element of the dueling club in this set, so you can have his reaction there, and indeed, a snake, just a standard Lego snake, is included here for Justin to be attacked by, and then Harry calls it off, so that is nice to see. There are technically 10 minifigures in this set, although there is an 11th, and that is your Golden Voldemort. And that's the reason why I had Justin by himself, because I wanted to show the two Voldemorts, or two Tom Riddles, next to each other. Obviously, the Golden Voldemort is very similar to the one that came, well, first of all, in the first CMF series, and then secondly, in the Rise of Voldemort set. Obviously, he's got that 20 years of Lego Harry Potter printing on the back, nothing on the back of the skirt piece, comes with the golden wand. Tom Riddle is interesting, I will say. It's strange because we have had a Tom Riddle quite recently. He came out in a book, and in fact, I do have one of those. There he is. And I don't know, I think I would say that the one from the book is superior in pretty much every way. I'm not sure if they've got the same headpiece. No, they've actually got different headpieces, which is interesting but quite useful. This one doesn't have an alternate expression, which I suppose is one advantage of the new one, but I think the printing of the robes on the one that comes in the set is a little disappointing because you can see grey around the edges, and then obviously there's nothing on the back or sides. Could have done with dual moulded legs there. They got around that on the one that came in the book by just having black legs, so it's not so immediately obvious. But anyway, I've got two Tom Riddles now, which is no bad thing. You definitely can't call these minifigures, but I think it's important to show them nonetheless as they are sort of characters. These are Cornish pixies, and this is a brand new mould exclusive for this set. They are very nice looking. They are just very small. They fit on a single stud, as you can see. And instead of clips or anything for their hands, they've actually got bar-sized little nubs there. It's a very similar setup to how Baby Groot was done. The two are printed identically, and their colour is a sort of, I think it's opalescent, a sort of medium/dark blue. I'm not quite sure what you'd call it. But they look fantastic, very cheeky smiles there, and they'll be perfect for dotting around the castle. So we've already seen one snake in this set, but this is the Chamber of Secrets, so it really ought to come with another one, and that, of course, is the Basilisk. So this is fantastic. This is a whole host of new and fairly new pieces. So we have got these large macaroni pieces, which have a Technic connection in there, and that plugs straight into the Technic bricks there. Plenty of plates layered up there. There's a brand new tail piece here, which unfortunately does have this cutout on the back, but other than that, looks really nice. That's actually a stud connection, which has a Technic connection inside it. Some pre-existing tail pieces used there. Body is all brick built, which is very nice. And then we come to the head, and this is a completely brand new moulded headpiece, which I think looks very, very accurate. I think the jaw piece underneath actually may have come in various other Harry Potter sets before, in the Hungarian Horntail and the Fantastic Beasts suitcase set, but obviously the top of the head is new and has been made to interact with that. Just having a little bit of trouble focusing on it there. Unlike the old Basilisk, which I do have, there it is. One feature this is lacking is the ability to remove a tooth and use it as a dagger, but I have to say the relative size of the head to the body of the old one was a little ridiculous. I'll just move the camera back a little bit so you can see them compared to one another. So obviously the head of the new one is far smaller, but it's definitely more in keeping with the rest, and as you can see, it is now in an olive green, which I don't know if that existed when the original set came out, whereas this was in a sand green. This is very good for its time, and indeed it actually uses the same two end tail components as the new one. This is the older style tail that the new one replaces. This had a Technic pin connection instead of studs. I still like this, and if they hadn't come out with a new one, I think I would have probably kept this one around, but the new one is definitely superior and looks much sleeker and much more deadly, and is also very nice and posable. Okay, that was hopefully a fairly quick rush through the minifigures there, so I think it's time to get on with the builds. Now, as you can see, this is a substantial build. It's made slightly less substantial when you turn it to the side. See, there really is only a kind of 8 stud depth on most of it, with a little bit more on this side, and this is a much smaller build. However, you get a good amount of height and good amount of width, so there's a lot to play with. Comes in 3 major sections, as you can see here. There is the entrance to the Chamber of Secrets, there's the Great Hall and the chamber itself, and then there's this bit, which is Defense Against the Dark Arts related, and then the entrance to the chamber, the slide from the girls' bathroom underneath there. So there's all sorts of different bits that connect together. And of course, this follows the modular style that I showed in my previous reviews. And I will be doing a follow-up video to this, showing the different ways that you can put the whole Hogwarts together. Right, let's go from smallest to largest, probably, or left to right. Start with this. Okay, so the entrance door to the Chamber of Secrets. This isn't something that's featured in an official LEGO set before, or at least not in a playset. There was a small version of it in the microscale Hogwarts. However, this is obviously meant to interact with minifigures, and so it's a much bigger door. I've seen mock makers use these pieces, which are from Ninjago, to create a similar effect, and it's a sensible way to do it, to have the snakes that retract as the door unlocks. Obviously, they don't move here, but the effect is still nice. The door is fixed on with a couple of skeleton arms and can swing open very easily. It's nicely attached to a bar on the side there. And then there's a perfectly circular hole made there with the 4x4 curved or macaroni style tiles. It's a nice build that makes that up. Uses some of the new brackets that are 1x1 base and then 2 studs going up there, which I've not seen before, so it was cool to get some of those. Other than that, it's a fairly basic build with a few interior details. There's a small chocolate frog sitting there. There are some glow-in-the-dark tiles dotted throughout this set. Don't know if I can show them glowing. They may not have had time to charge Pretty sure they're glow in the dark. They're not regular white, let's put it that way. Other than that, there is an owl here. I have not seen this print on an owl before, and it's always nice to get them because they do go for quite high prices on the aftermarket. I like the fact that there are these dark green elements scattered throughout the build, or trans dark green, I should say. It just ends a sort of layer. That is a layer, but it ends an lens, an air. I'm going to leave that in just because I can't be bothered to do it again. Lends an air of spookiness and mystery to the whole set, and I think it looks really nice, especially as it's green, which is associated with Slytherin. Also like the unicorn horns there, looking like stalagmites, although there are no stalactites, and I think that's a little bit of a miss, but oh well. Okay, on to the next bit. So here we've got another depiction of the Great Hall just here, and then below it there is the actual Chamber of Secrets. Now, as you can see, things are having a hard time fitting in shot, so I am going to split these apart as they are intended to do, like that, and we will look at this first. There we go, that's about all in shot now. Now, this is actually a really nice build. It's obviously not the first time LEGO have attempted to make the Great Hall. In fact, there was the Great Hall set that came out in 2018, and before that, the Great Hall has appeared in numerous Hogwarts castle sets. The one that this is most similar to is probably the Hogwarts castle from 2010, partly because of the sand green roofs, but also because of the pillars on the outside, and the rough sort of scale and size. However, I think this is an improvement in several ways. Firstly, the tables are in the correct orientation, and also the detail is much, much improved. So we'll just get in a bit closer and have a look at the inside. So obviously there's only room for 2 tables in here, or actually, no, I tell a lie. There's only one, because these are benches. So there's only 1 table in this Great Hall, but it is very narrow. Yeah, the benches are out here, and then the table is in the middle. And one thing you can do with the table, because of the dueling club, is press down on here. And if you've got a minifigure on there, let's just say it's Luna, because it's her unlucky day, you can flick them around. She didn't actually go through the door, she ended up here. So there's something to be said there. Obviously there's some goblets and a chocolate frog on the table as well, but you can always take those off. Other than that, we have got Dumbledore's lectern, which I don't know if it was actually there in Chamber of Secrets. I think it may have popped up in Prisoner of Azkaban. But anyway, it's a nice part usage, NPU, and it actually uses the Hedwig mould that we saw last year with the spread wings, but this time in pearl gold and unprinted. And this is a fairly accurate representation of what Dumbledore's lectern looks like. And when I did see it in the set, I thought, wow, well, that's all right. I'll include that in my mock Great Hall. But I'm not so sure because I think my solution, which I detailed recently on Instagram, actually comes up a little bit smaller and space is at a premium in my Great Hall. So I might just give this to my golden 20th anniversary Harry, just as an actual owl to hold. We'll have to see. Anyway, it's nice in this set and it is a good detail. We've then got the fireplace along the back, just using the small candle flames. And then if we move the camera up a bit, there are actually candles all around here. I can count 6, and they're obviously not floating, but they're all clipped into the wall, so it gives the general appearance. Under the roof, which is held in using those shield pieces at an angle, we've got some small little details. We've got what looks like a very small chessboard. We've got maybe a crystal ball, which uses the Mysterio headpiece. We've got a jar of potions there, possibly Amortentia, and then just a blue crystal, which I'm not sure what that is. At the back, we've got a lovely banner. This is a sticker, as are a lot of the details in this set. Let me just pan up, tilt up rather, and uses the same large flag piece as in the Great Hall set, so I may well include this in the future. However, if you flip this up, you will find a little storage space for the sorting hat. This is great to see because this has only come out in one set before, which was the Great Hall. And the version I've got was, it was second-hand, and I think a small child may have bitten it because it's got a few marks on it, so maybe I'll swap it over to the new one. That's just held in place on top of what I'm going to charitably call a small carved piece of wood and not think of it as anything else. It doesn't get studded in or anything, but it's held there and then just gets held in place by the banner. There's another chocolate frog hiding at the top there. Let's turn this back around to the outside. The detail's nice, the roofs look good from the outside. Obviously they are in sand green again, which is a nice nod, but it's also a bit of a shame. Nice part usage for detailing along here with the tent-shaped slopes and the sort of foot holder pieces that I think originally come from Lego Friends across the top there. A couple of small torches, and it looks nice. Yes, it's a nice little build. And of course, because it's this year's sets, it is modular as well. So these two bits of roof pop off there. They're on wedge plates, and then this pops off too. So if you really want to, you can stack stuff on top of here. You know, it's Lego, it's your imagination, you can do what you want. Just before we go down to the Chamber of Secrets itself, it is important to point out that there are actually two tables. I knew I wasn't going mad. The other one just gets left behind when you take off the Great Hall because it's on this extra bit that sits outside it. It's incidentally quite easy to pop these tables off, and they're just held in by a few studs at each end. This has got some nice details too, with these boxes of cereal. You've got the Cheery Owls and the Pixie Puffs, which are, I think, taken directly from the films and are puns on at least one brand of cereal that we have here in the UK. Don't know if you've got Cheerios elsewhere. I feel like you probably do, but I'm not up to speed on my international cereals. We've also got a croissant, and we have another chocolate frog, they're everywhere, and a couple of teacups. So it looks like it's breakfast time and also time for the dueling club. So, you know, trying to be all things for all people, which I suppose isn't a bad thing. Right, let's head underground. And I think, let's actually enter the Chamber of Secrets the way that we're supposed to. Now, when I say supposed to, obviously you're not supposed to enter, but this is not actually the entrance. The entrance is in Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, but that is cleverly not included in this set, so you need to buy another one. Oh wait, I already did. So in my big look at the castle, I will put things in what I think are the correct places, but for now we'll just have a look at how you get in for this set. So if I turn this around, you will see that there is a slide, or you might do, it's in black. It's just a big slide piece which comes out down here. Now at the moment there is a rock blocking it, but they have cleverly thought of that because this rock is only held in by 4 studs, and you can easily, let's use Luna again, this is my stunt minifigure, and she can just slide down and she comes out the other side. So if you only get this set, you can post minifigures in the back there, or if you have Moaning Myrtle's bathroom, they have arranged it so that the hole is directly above here and you don't need to move the rock at all. Apart from that, there aren't that many details down here. There's what looks like the bones of a frog, possibly, along with some rather large animal bones. Have to wonder what's been killed down here, and a smaller one there, obviously representative of all the animal bones that are on the floor in the film. Going back to the outside, the detailing is nice. Obviously, things aren't closed up completely, but, you know, it's a style they're going for, and I think it works here. Nice integration between the tan and the dark bluish grey as well. And we've also got the appearance of some dark blue water here. Of course, after a small rock fall, we would then arrive at the door to the Chamber of Secrets, but we've already looked at that, so let's open it up and we will head on in. And here it is, the main part of the Chamber of Secrets. Just excuse the breakfast things above, I'll bring it a little bit closer. And as you can see, the main feature that we've got here is the statue of Salazar Slytherin. I was always a bit disappointed to find out that in the books it's actually a full-size statue of Slytherin, but in the films they just went for the head. And this is an interesting rendition of it. I quite like it. They've obviously gone for a sort of minifigure shape, while also trying to remain faithful to the film as far as possible. It's a nice bit of sculpting, really. And it does come with the feature which is most important for this statue, which is the ability for the mouth to open and the basilisk to come through. The way they've gone about this is slightly strange and will mean that we need to spin it around and see the outside once again. Similar detailing using some of these rock pieces, as well as gaps in here and more flames and torches and a frog, all details you can see. But then you'll notice a couple of Exoforce robot arms on the outside here, which we can pull apart, and then this rock slides back. There are rails and rail pieces there for it to slide. Spin us around and you'll see that when I pull the rock, Slytherin's mouth comes in, so he gets a little bit of a goofy overbite there as his mouth disappears all the way, and then this can be completely removed. You'll see that there is a small fang in there, which I imagine is the one that Harry is going to use to kill Tom Riddle. And then we can post the basilisk through the hole. I haven't actually tried this before, so it'll be interesting. There we go. There's the basilisk. The trouble is... oh, well... didn't need Harry to kill the basilisk because I think I've just killed it for him. I have to say, it's a little bit tricky to get the Basilisk through. What makes it great is that it's got this kink here, which means it's nice and posable, but it also means it's a bit of a struggle to get through there. Probably better to just pose it like that. And when you do, it looks really good. You just kind of forget that Slytherin's lower jaw is missing. And then you pull the Basilisk on through, there we go, and it can go and do its merry killing. And then this slides back in, and Slytherin has got a lower jaw again. So not entirely successful, but I think it's a nice attempt and much better than the one that came in the 2002 set. On either side, we have got these statues, which are studded in, but only with 2 studs. We can bring them out. They use these inverted, or not inverted really, these concave bows or concave arches with one of these Ninjago headpieces on the top, which is moulded in light bluish grey and trans dark green, which look really good. They're not entirely correct. I think there is actually one that doesn't have these sort of Cobra hood pieces on the side. I'm not actually sure, I'm not up to speed on my Ninjago, but maybe if there is one of those it would have been appropriate. However, the use of the dark green there is nice, and you can either leave them in there or you can position them on the outside like the snake heads are in the film. Other than that, the base of the Chamber of Secrets is relatively empty. You can see right the way through it, but that's just where the mouth goes in and out. So it's the actual Chamber of Secrets itself, as I think another reviewer pointed out, is kind of here, and this is just the background to it, which, you know what, it's Lego, so that's what you're going to be imagining most things anyway. But you know what, it's a nice attempt using a relatively limited number of pieces. Okay, I was definitely rambling at this part, so I think it's time we got on and tried to get through things a bit more quickly. So, here is the Defence Against the Dark Arts classroom. This is again using the 8x16 base and modular system, so I can pop the floors above it off, in which I will do right now, so we can get a closer look. And similar to the bathroom set, or in fact both sets that I reviewed previously, this brick can come out here so you can get a better look inside. There's a wonderful sticker here depicting Lockhart painting a painting of himself in a painting. Too many bits of meta joke there, which looks lovely, and I'll definitely be reusing in my own mock. There's a small picture just here of him, if I can get my finger out of the way, and there are a few more in his office up above. There's a new piece here, which is a candelabra with 3 places to put candles, one in the middle, which is a plate lower than the rest of them. Incidentally, if you want to see a catalogue of new pieces for this set and many others, check out New Elementary. They're a very well-known site, and they do really detailed and in-depth looks at new pieces and how to use them. Just remember they featured that. A couple of desks there when you can sit some students, and other than that, there's not a huge amount to this. Nice detailing on the outside though, another bit of sand green roof there. There's another one of those Hogwarts emblems that appeared in the, I think it was the bathroom set, he says, checking. No, I'm completely wrong. It's the fluffy set. I think it's the same sticker, but it does look good. Same standard windows with the grill inserts that we've been getting for a while now. Okay, pop this back on and move this to the background and show you what was above it. So first of all, there's just this small piece here. It's just a flat piece of sort of terraced roof. There's yet another chocolate frog, as well as a broomstick. And then next to that, we've got one of these trans clear, well, technically a bar piece, but with studs on one end and a small stud on the other. It's also got a minifigure stand on there. And the intention with this is that you can put Nearly Headless Nick up here, and he can float around. Woo! I might use this in my Great Hall, because at the moment Nearly Headless Nick is hanging on to, well, actually he's hanging on to the side of one of these, and maybe I could do with another one. They do tend to be a little bit pricey, so to get one in a set is great. And the sort of final piece, actually it's 2 pieces, so let's separate them as we're supposed to. Here is the Defence Against the Dark Arts office, or Lockhart's office, with some brilliant photographs of him in a flying cap and having captured, looks like a very small Loch Ness monster. There's him with a very awkward Harry, and also him looking into a mirror, which is appropriate. Yet another chocolate frog hiding behind his sand blue chair. He's got a stack of pictures that he's autographing on the side, and this interesting little detail, which looks like a wig, and possibly is. It actually features in the film. I've looked at screenshots, and so I don't know whether they're implying Lockhart wears a toupee or a wig, but it's a nice little detail which shows how much attention they've paid to the films. The other feature about this floor is these windows, which are amazing. So this is a relatively new piece, which I don't think has come in brown before. What it is a 3x3 curved window piece, which actually holds standard sort of 2x2 window inserts, like these slotted ones or grill ones. So what you end up with is a really nice rounded window, but they haven't had to actually invent any new pieces to go in it. I don't know if I can think of somewhere on Hogwarts that actually uses these, but if I do, then I will definitely be reusing them because they are a really nice new piece. Okay, and on to the final section, at long last. Here is, well, I suppose it's the Astronomy Tower. Then I don't know what the one was in the fluffy Forbidden Corridor set, but anyway, we've got Professor Sinister in this set, and that is definitely an astronomical chart with a wonderful, wonderful Easter egg. That is a constellation that looks like the mask of, I believe it's Toa Tahu, one of the original Bionicle Toa, and it's just such a random little Easter egg. Obviously, someone was a great fan of those of that series. We've got a sextant here, which looks exactly like a Lego one, which is another nice feature. I'll definitely be putting this into the astronomy tower. There's an okay telescope, just uses one of those camera pieces with a couple of black fezzes and some green jewels in there to be lenses. But again, it points at the inside of a roof, so interesting. Someone maybe wasn't thinking. Another glow-in-the-dark piece here, which is really nice, just one of those Technic ball joints. We of course have to have a Hedwig who sits on this nice little nest, although a feature of this nest is that you can tip her over, although she's acting like a bat at the moment. And then off to the side we have a small tower which also tips over, which I imagine is trying to represent the Dumbledore's 3 little turrets that come off the grand staircase tower. It's definitely interesting, but it's more of a representation than the Great Hall set gave it, so we'll have to give it points for that. Above that is just these standard green or sand green cone pieces that they've used throughout this range, and again, it's a shame that we are getting more of these because I don't think I'll be using them. I want more of the dark bluish grey ones, but it's nice to get those nonetheless. Okay, that's actually everything. I don't know how long this review has turned out. If it's a little bit long, then I do apologise, but I tried to rush through things as much as I could, and as you can tell, I'm clearly losing my mind. Right, I've taken a second and had some water, cleared my head, and I thought I would just show you a couple of last things before I give you my final thoughts. So first up is this book here with a sticker on it, and I believe this is for Year with a Yeti, which is one of Lockhart's fraudulent books. It's a nice little sticker, and inside there is a completely inaccurate tile, which I think came from the Potions Classroom set, but whatever, it's nice to get a nice printed tile, and this is a good little Easter egg for Lockhart. Also included are the Chocolate Frog or collectible cards, which I have got here. So we have got one of, I believe that is Seraphina Pickery. We have got one here of, I want to say that is Newt Scamander by the looks of the bow tie. And we have got one of Helga Hufflepuff. And we have got one of Ollivander. So we've got 4 different ones. But wait, there are in fact 6 tiles in this set, which means we have got another Ollivander and also another Seraphina Pickery. And in my previous ones that I got in previous sets, I had another Helga Hufflepuff. So we're not doing great on the doubles so far, with only a few sets left to go. Obviously, this is the nature of random collectible tiles and actually is very accurate to how the Chocolate Frog cards work in universe, but it's still a little bit annoying. Nevertheless, I've seen a few people setting up groups to swap these tiles so that everyone can get a complete set. I don't know if I'll be doing that. I'm not completely on board with the whole thing, but if I do get a yearning for it, then I might. One final thing to show you are the spare pieces. And as you'd expect with a relatively large set, there are quite a few of them. You've got the standard ones that are spare, although some of them do get used for 2 characters at once, and then various 1x1 pieces. These 2 Technic pins here aren't technically spare, technically, but I believe they're included so that you can just put the castle into different formations using the Technic bricks provided. Okay, that, I think now, is everything. So what do I think? Well, I'd say well done to LEGO overall. This, as I said at the beginning, is a complete playset. It's got a whole host of characters, it's got great features, and of course the modularity aspect means that you can rearrange the whole thing without having to completely deconstruct the castle. And of course, if you do get the other sets in the range, then they can all fit together. As I said a couple of times before, the next video I do will probably be a look at all the different variations you can do with the different parts of the castle, so I'm looking forward to playing around with that. Is this worth full price? It depends. LEGO value is such a nebulous concept. There was a really great Jang Bricks video on, I think, still his old channel, which came out recently, where he was looking at how much value we place on LEGO sets, and I think price per piece is it's sometimes a little bit misleading. The price per piece for us in the UK here is not amazing, not up to the same standard that a lot of the other LEGO Harry Potter sets have been in the recent wave. But for what you get, and if you're only going to get one set, it gets you a good volume of stuff. And I imagine that those who have never had a LEGO Harry Potter set before and looking to get into it, or who are looking to get something to celebrate 20 years of LEGO Harry Potter, this is really the set to get. Of course, I will be getting all of them because I just can't stop myself, but I think I'm going to have to put a pause on it for now and concentrate on getting these videos out first. So thank you very much for watching. If you've watched till the end, then you're more amazing than I am. If you have enjoyed it, then please leave a like down below and leave a comment as well with your opinion, and I'll do my best as always to try and get back to you. If you can share the video and subscribe and do all the other great things, that would be appreciated too. Have a great one, and I will see you next time. Bye.